And also, Luther is coming out as well. Idris Elba.
Vandross?
I don't know if y'all follow.
Oh, I'm about to say,
What, Vandross?
So we was about to get a Luther biopic.
Come on, man. Come on.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, not that Luther. Not that Luther.
Vandross?
Not
crazy.
not that Luther. Luther, Idris Elba's Luther series is coming back out as well. So yeah, not y'all.
Not Vandross?
No, not Vandross.
Okay.
Oh,
oh yeah.
Y'all go have these people looking for damn Luther Vandross.
Yeah, be like,
hello,
where's the Luther yet?
I don't see it coming out yet.
Pressure to play that role.
Sorry, Idris Elba. We are not talking about your TV show at this point. We're talking about Luther.
We went to a whole different Luther. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Just Acting Up Show. Let me clear my throat. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all don't say a lot of time. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Just Acting Up Show. I'm your boy, your host, James, up in the building. Your boy, Jaffe. What's going on, Mr. Shay? How you doing? How you living?
I'm doing great. Hello, how's everyone? I'm kind of in a mellow mood, but we're gonna hype it up in a little bit.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong being a little mellow every now and then. Be a little chill. And be a little chill every now and then. We got Mike up in the building. What's up, Mike?
What is Chris doing, man? That's irritating.
I don't know. Chris, what you got going on with us?
See, what happened was I was trying to help somebody out and I shocked myself. I mean, just look.
I was just trying to see if they worked.
I was trying.
Gotcha.
I was trying to help my friend out, and he had no cable, and
why you ain't have no cable?
Man,
his car was stuck. And
we told you once. We told you 1,000 times.
Oh my gosh!
I don't get it, my boy.
You gotta stop helping these random people out.
I was.
Not everybody need help.
Now he gonna need some help.
Nah, I ain't gonna.
Might be on standby with wait, who close? I ain't close to them today. Somebody just be on. Have 911 on standby just in case.
Please have someone on standby to help him out, because you can't accept help from everybody, and everybody can't help everybody.
I was trying to be MacGyver because I had no cables. So I took 2 pipes and.
What makes you think that was gonna work?
No.
That's for a friend.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God.
I mean,
we moving on with the show.
Well, we have a very electrifying show for you today. Sorry, I had to do it. Don't mind me.
You had to.
I had to. I had to. I'm sorry. I had to. We're gonna be talking about some things. What's going on the big stage? Well, something got to prove here in good old state of Texas. And March Madness is getting ready to start. Not only that, but we got some movies that's coming towards you, and some movies that has been a hit over the past weekend. All that and more, acting a fool, bouncing act, and guests. Just Acting Up Show. Y'all stay locked in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here at the big stage. We are getting ready to talk about some stuff. But before we talk about some stuff, what we need you to do, go ahead and
bam.
There we go.
Right there.
Like, share, and subscribe, please. Please, oh please. Thank you.
Press it.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, we can say it all the time. We start like, share, comment, and subscribe. It's simple.
Please.
Don't hold all this good energy, this good talent to yourself. Spread it out to everybody.
Yes. It's the world, Craig.
Great minds.
There you go. Oh man.
Oh my.
Yes, indeed, man. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, man, Miller Outdoor Theater over there at Herman Park, man. If you have ever been to Miller Outdoor Theater, you are always in for a show. The events are usually free, but you know what's so good about this? It's the 100. That's right. I said the 100th anniversary. I'm sorry, I had to try something different.
I mean, you did it.
There we go. Get my home.
You pulled it off. You pulled it off. You pulled it off. But let's clap it up for them.
Hey, thank you.
I've never been, but let's clap it up for them.
Let's clap it up.
Yeah, I love going to their summer concert. I love going to their summer soul concert.
They have some pretty good shows.
Yeah, definitely. You got picnic with the
I've
family.
never been.
It's
me and Mike.
It's really
never been.
But
it's really good.
We're gonna have to have a Just Acting Up mixer at.
Yeah, I know. Especially when it's heating back up, they have this concert every series is like a R&B soul concert or like a Motown review. Real great. Go out there, you picnic, chill with your family, just listen to some good music.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
sounds like a great idea.
Well, we're gonna have to check that out then.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been around 100 years, and almost damn near 40 of my years, I ain't been there.
I'm not telling my years, but yeah, no.
Don't tell me your years.
Don't we be real secretive with our years? Don't we?
My aunt been 27 for 27 for 60 years. She been 27.
Been lying all our life. After we hit 25, we lying from there.
Yeah.
You know, to piggyback off the Miller, there's a concert series that's been going on in Houston. I actually went to the first one at Emancipation Park is where it started off. So the three Houston parks teamed up with the different jazz artists, and they brought Robert Glasper. You know, he won the Grammy for Best R&B. That Chris Brown's trying to talk about him and hate on him. He's from Houston, H-Town's own, but they kicked off the series at Emancipation Park, and it was, you know, just jazz music. People come out, just listen, just have a good time. They're doing it at 3 parks. Emancipation Park is for this month of March. Next month they'll be at Discovery Green, and the last month they'll be at Buffalo Bayou. So it's definitely a great jazzy Sundays at the park.
That's pretty dope. That's a fun place you could take the kids. And what kind of music do they have?
It's us. It's jazz music. It's like a jazzy R&B vibe. Everybody real chill. Like I said, everybody came out. It was good seeing all my people out there. No BS. We just was wanting to hear good music. Yeah, just chilling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah,
Big Chris with the spots. You know, Chris be out there. He got to let us know where to go.
I'm the plug. Let's get that straight.
Yeah, especially because, you know, like, hey, spring break, summer, all that stuff. Get ready for it. So we need to find different place to entertain these kids.
Yeah.
She being good right now. I just have to do that because, you know, sit. So I just have to be let it off. But no, but yeah, for real, man. But appreciate you, Chris, Mike, and Shay about giving these information to the whole Tide Nation of what to do to entertain these kids and good date ideas as well too. Miller Outdoor Theater, and then we got what Chris just said, and some other people about to have a really, really, really good time. What I mean by that is the Texas marijuana ganja. The criminalization bill unanimously approved by House Committee. Ooh.
Tell them what that means, Jaffe.
Okay, now break that down, layman's terms, Jaffe, please.
Come on, break it down.
See. Let's read these comments real quick because I found these comments very funny. N-word, I'll be in Houston more now. Let me see. This supposed going to be a bidding war with the cartel. Y'all go legal. This I don't read that part right there, but pretty much, they saying that the block is about to be hot with the. Yeah, that's what they saying right there, man. Somebody said, "Oh, happy day" in the comments.
Ain't no real jail time. Like you ain't getting, arrested for like weed and stuff. But they decriminalizing it. So I mean, like people already smoke stuff in the club and the lounges already. Like it ain't nothing.
That's my thing. I'm like, they already smoking weed. I mean, I mean, have Texas fully approved it? No. Have they? No. Yes. No.
This would do it. This would do it. Well, hey. I gotta check to see if I'm still invested in my stock.
Yeah, they already. That's the thing I don't understand. They already smoking weed. It's like.
I'm trying to make some money.
I mean, I've been to a few events that said on the flyer, 420 friendly, and I guess that's their way of saying that's okay. At those establishments, I'm not putting no names out there, but yeah. So I mean, not necessarily meaning that I did anything. I was performing, but your girl perform a few times here and there. I do have some songs coming out, but yes, I was performing, and yeah, they had it going on in there. In Houston.
Fell victim to the ganja. I know my ganja experience. I don't want to never experience, so I am good on that. You weed smokers have fun. Y'all have fun. I'm good. Because if that's what it do to you, I'm good. I stick to my tobacco. I stick to my Black and Mild cigars. I am good.
Whoa.
With them decriminalizing it though, it's really gonna open up the floodgates, and you're about to see a lot more businesses and stuff come here. If you invested, hope you're in the right company because it's about to blow up. And then once it passes federally, because the fact that Texas was one of those hard states that was hard to pass a lot of stuff. So, them harder states may start to fall in line and it'd be legal everywhere.
This is my question. So does that mean that anyone that's locked up for those particular reasons, will they be released? Or can they now go, hey, since this is legal, and take their stuff back to court and see if they can get out? Or how does that work?
That's where it gets sticky. That's a lot of red tape with that. Yeah, so I don't know how that's gonna work.
Yeah. Just something to think about,
Yeah,
would be nice.
Yeah, it is. It really is. It really is. Yeah. Well, moving on to other news, and Houston's own Megan Thee Stallion will headline March Madness. So, no March Madness comes around the corner. Y'all go ahead and get y'all brackets ready, or get ready to get your brackets broke. I don't like the way that sounds.
We're gonna skip this.
I'm sleep deprived. But anyways, your brackets. Yeah, fast forward. Anyways, yeah. Get your brackets ready, ladies and gentlemen. Get your brackets ready. Get your brackets ready. Get your brackets ready. Get your brackets ready. March Madness. That's when everybody really do start to really tune into college basketball, U of H and all that, women's basketball and all that. So it's a funky good time, man. Got March Madness and you got the rodeo going on. So and you got the kids out of school. Man, then it get hot. I ain't going nowhere. In the house.
I'm ready to go swimming. I don't know about y'all, but
yeah, I'll go swimming. Yeah, I'll do that.
Swimming, yes.
I'm not talking about at 7 and 8 o'clock when it cool down.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We all swim here? You guys swim?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot Mike don't swim.
I did not know.
I love to swim. I swim like a fish. I'm a whale, mermaid, killer whale.
My stepdad was a lifeguard, so he taught me how to swim when I was like 6 or 7. I didn't know it was not normal for Black people not to know how to swim until I got to college.
You guys are beautiful human beings.
Wait, Mike, so you don't swim?
No.
We'll get you.
I have a problem with pools. I really do. I got PTSD of pools. That throwing the kid in the water to teach him how to swim, That don't work.
It worked on me.
Man, don't.
It worked on me too.
It didn't work on me. When
It
that
work on me.
happened, it was like, well, I guess this is it. I'm like, this is it. Because I don't know what to do.
Give it to
They
Jesus.
dived in, they had to give me, they was like, boy, you need to start that. I'm like, bro, you threw me in the water. And I mean, that pool was like, had to be, it was really deep. Like, deep. So ever since then,
man.
No.
Yeah,
well, I mean, at the time, I was smaller than 5 feet, and they pushed me into, well, he pushed me into 5 feet, and it was an adult, and it was an older adult.
It was an older adult too.
It was a family member. I'm not gonna say no names, but yes, but it worked. I swam. I got out of it. It was a choice you had to make whether you was go try to live or you gonna just sink down. And I was not gonna just sink down. I started doing whatever I could.
I just gave it to him. I gave it to him.
I would tell y'all some of the training that I did, but then I'll get my stepdad in trouble. So I'll tell y'all that off camera.
I just gave it to him. All I saw was blue, and I'm just down.
Like, well, guess I had a good run.
Yeah, I said, well, I guess, hey, I don't know what you do. I don't know what to tell you.
Damn.
Oh man.
Yep. It happened.
Wow. So, and then after that, you just never tried no more?
Never tried. Never.
So do you even will you even get in the pool?
Shout out to Maven Gray, because once upon a time, my good friend, my brother, Maven Gray, he tried to teach me. And he was like, bro, you just gotta just go, like, like with the fear. And I mean, at this point, I'm like a grown man. I'm like in my late 20s, scared.
Mm.
Yeah. We went to New Orleans. This is a real fear. We went to New Orleans, and in New Orleans they had like those broads, like those ferries, where they take you to one end to the other. I was in the middle. Like, I didn't go to the edge and like, oh, look at the water. No, I'm in the middle. Stayed right there. When we went on a cruise, my wife asked me, she said, "Oh, you gonna be okay going on a cruise?" I said, at least I know if we go, I ain't going by myself.
Everybody just join hands and hold my hand while we all just
going by myself. Got a whole bunch of people to help me. So hey,
maybe just little baby steps. Like, will you do floaties?
Yeah.
You do floaties?
I would, yeah. I have my vest stuff with the tubing. I get in there.
Right.
I'll be ready for anything then. A monsoon, I'll be ready.
But right.
I gotta take baby steps. Good thing is my son, he never developed that. My son is like, he'll just jump in there. Woo, boom.
You don't see that?
My son is the total opposite, and I was so happy. I'm like, I'm glad he doesn't have that like what I have. So
good job.
My son, he's fearless with that. He don't mind getting in the pool.
My kids either they just hop right on in. They do not care. Like, I was making them wear floaties for a long time, to the point where they was like, Mama, I know how to swim. I don't have to wear this somewhere. I'm like, you sure? Because it's a lot of y'all. It's for y'all. So I can't be trying to pick and choose who to go save.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, floaties on all of them. They had to show me. They had to show me they could swim before I was like, okay, take the floaty off.
Shout out to the parents with the floaty.
Last but not least, to finish this segment off, continue to celebrate Women's Month. Thank you, Tashay, for everything that you do. Like what's that James Brown song? This is a man's world, but be nothing without a woman and a little girl. So thank you, ladies, for everything that y'all do, putting up with us, hard-headed men. We have our moments. We can't do nothing without y'all.
I guess
thank you, guys.
This month, just take a little bit more, fellas. And another thing, this deal. And let us say a piece this month. Now,
Women's Month, so go on and get her 4 new tires on her car, because you know she needs it. Get the windshield wipers replaced because you know she needs it.
The
Get
gas
all
tank up.
changed. You know she needs it. Okay.
I had one girl told me to cash out her $2,500 because Women's Month. And I said, the devil's a lie. I ain't talking. You take yourself.
It don't get it.
I'm not part of that ministry.
Ain't part of that. Happy Women's Month.
I said, ma'am, this is a joke, right?
She said, no, it's not a joke. We want. No, we appreciate because there was a point in time where women were not celebrated. So, just the acknowledgement is enough for some of us. Others may want a little bit of praise with gifts.
Like Mike, get her the tires and whatever else I can get her.
Go get the tires. Seriously, go get the tires.
Get her car clean. Yes.
Oh my goodness!
Please get her car clean.
It's a million women in this city that's riding around in bald ties and got cups and chip bags and everything is in their car, and they ride and come. Man, go get the car clean. I remember I took my wife to go get her car clean. I ain't never worked so hard in my life, and I work in a warehouse. That was some hard work, boy.
The pre-clean.
That was some hard work. I had to treat her like a child. I said, now you see this car? This is the way I want to see this car from now on and now. You get me up and I never see her.
You know she watched the show, right?
Sometimes it's not always us. Sometimes it's the kids. No. I mean, if there's anything in the back seat, hey, we're not riding in the back seat, so we can't be really held accountable for that. No. But whatever's in the front seat, I guess we can be held accountable for. I know for me, it's full work every day trying to get everything out the car. Yeah.
I give it to you to say you have small kids, but she try to blame it on my son. My son be looking like.
We're not gonna bash her. It's Women's Month.
It's all good. I'm just saying.
Women's Month.
Just saying. All right.
Just get her car clean for her. Just get the car clean.
Get her car clean. Please
some flowers.
And some flowers. Well.
And some flowers.
All right, good people. We're about to get into the Critics Corner. Y'all don't want to miss this, so stay locked in to the Just Acting Up Show. We are ready for Critics Corner. Yeah, I'm sorry. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Welcome to Critics Corner, ladies and gentlemen. This is a segment of the show where we talk about TVs, movies, films, all that, entertainment news. But before we get into that, let's get into Joffy's VIP room, man. Yeah. Why am I singing?
I don't know.
I don't know why. Why am I singing?
I was just going to let you do it.
Have at it.
Why am I singing? Anyways, man. Joffy's VIP room, ladies and gentlemen, where we do a more in-depth analysis of your favorite TV shows and movies. We are right there at the finish line. Me and Mike been chopping up, talking about The Last of Us, man. And it has been, it's been fun. It's been fun. Yeah, man. I'm talking about, we said it was so fun. Chris was like, man, I got into it. So he got into watching The Last of Us.
I ain't never heard nothing about The Last of Us, but I like the show.
Yeah. My bad, Chris. I gotta get my subscription updated. I need to make some payments. It's been hard for that boy. But I got you though. But yeah, man. But yeah, The Last of Us. It's a really great show. So y'all check it out. Y'all have not checked it out. So on to other news. So man, BET, Deborah Lee, man, she has a book coming out. It's a tell-all book.
I have a lot to say about that.
I don't like to tell all books, boy.
Can we give the audience a little bit of information about who she is?
Oh, yes. She's, former CEO of BET Entertainment News. She worked her way up. to pretty much get that title right there. So, like we said, happy, Women's Month and everything. But like we said, she put the information out there, so we have heard the information. So yeah, man, talk about some dark things that happened with her and a certain individual.
Was it necessary?
Boy.
I thought it was the streets calling for it. I don't think the streets.
Boy,
Cool.
I ain't saying that that's my difference. I'm just saying. I don't think the streets was calling for that. I don't think we need to do that.
I mean, hey, man, I think she's comfortable at her life where she feels that she needs to share this. I mean, I'm kind of like with you. Maybe she probably could have took some of this stuff to her grave because, you dig up some old stories, some people about to come at you, Deborah. So just letting you know, man. Y'all get the book, man. I don't like spread mess, man.
Would y'all ever
Messy.
Would y'all ever do a memoir later in life?
No, I'm taking it to the grave.
Yeah.
I don't think
I wouldn't do a memoir. I would do a few little short stories about some things that I have experienced, but it wouldn't be like putting anyone out. Yeah. As like I said, I've had a pretty interesting life. So yeah. I wouldn't mind putting some things out, but I'm definitely not a tell-all book. Never.
Yeah. I think if I was to do one, it would be salacious and scandalous. I don't know. It might be a little too hot for TV.
Spicy.
I'm taking it.
I told y'all Chris be outside.
Chris be outside. Don't let Chris fool you, man. Chris be outside. Chris be outside, side. I
don't know what y'all talking about.
Oh, man.
Anyway, moving on.
Hallelujah. Oh man, too silly. But in other news, Tyler Perry and Byron Allen are trying to purchase BET as well to make it black owned again. So that's some other BET news right there.
Pretty good.
Byron Allen, he's really done a lot for black media. Like I remember there was I forgot what bill that it was passed that he was really the force behind it. But he owns the Weather Channel and he owns a few other channels, the Griots, things like that. And Tyler Perry, we all know who Tyler Perry is. And BET pretty much got behind Tyler Perry, and we see Medea on there
in his earlier stages. So yeah, that would be dope if he turns around and he buys BET. Absolutely.
I don't think they should I don't think Tyler Perry should buy BET fully. I think they should just come together and collaborate to balance each other out. Just say that because because BET is gonna be all Tyler Perry all the time. But just give you some balance.
He do have a lot of movies, and he's gonna be using BET to push his movies out. Everybody knows that, but I mean, it can mean more jobs for a lot of people. I mean, we know he do like to hire his own. I mean.
Right.
So I mean, hey, everything have pros and cons, but you're right, Chris. Maybe having somebody else intertwined with that could help just smooth it out a little bit.
Yeah.
And shout out to Mr. 007, Horton, and he's like that book for like something with Tyler Perry. I seen on his post.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show,
Haunting.
Haunting. I said Horton. My bad. It's early.
Horton here's a Hugh.
But yeah, I saw him post something about Tyler Perry Studios. He put caption booking, so you can go into my details.
Yeah.
So,
shout out.
I know he be in Atlanta a lot, so shout out to Mr. 007.
Yeah, Haunting Valerio, he out there killing it in Atlanta. Get them gigs, bro.
Yes,
I'm proud of
definitely.
Yeah.
What's his little phrase or whatever? Mama, there goes that man.
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 Shouting you out.
Yeah.
Oh, proud of my brother, man. Yes. So in other news, Keisha Cole is to executive produce and star in her Lifetime biopic. Whew, man, what y'all think about that right there?
Trying to pull a Fantasia.
I think that's pretty good. I mean, why not do your biopic when you can actually play yourself?
Like I said, she's
I
trying to
wonder if
pull
she's
up
gonna
her
have
thing.
her family in there. I know her sister. I know her mother passed away not too long ago. So I just, it's probably gonna be definitely a good biopic. She's been through a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if she's gonna talk about
I,
what's that guy that she dated, that football player?
He was a basketball player.
Daniel Jones, Booby Gibson.
Daniel Gibson. Yeah.
No, the other one, the one that was acting up overseas that we talked about. Remember, she dated him for a little bit. AB, was this AB?
Oh, Antonio Brown.
Yes, she dated him for a little bit. He dogged her. He did her wrong. But she dated him for a little bit. I wonder if she's gonna talk about that. But yeah, she do have a kid with Booby. He's from Houston too, I believe.
Yeah, Booby. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. I knew somebody that played against him in high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah,
I don't
man.
know
So
what
we'll
he's
keep
doing
our
now, but he was just on Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So shout out to
we
Keisha
will
Cole.
keep
She's one of the ones that we've been listening to for a while now, so
Mm-hmm.
cool. And she had her own TV show, so I mean that kind of was like a mini biopic, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, that is true. That is very true. So yeah, we will keep an eye out on that. Keisha Cole. Scream 6 was hitting the box office this weekend at the movie theaters. And they already talk about that they're gonna be a Scream 7. I have not watched it yet, but I plan on watching it. But I've been hearing great things. I've been hearing that Scream 6 is better than Scream 5. So I'm gonna try to make my way towards the movie theater before it gets spoiled. Like everybody like spoiled everything. You know, you got some one friends. Man, guess who died, bro? Man, you want to
like, bruh. You don't set your
bruh.
don't text me
they
nobody
killing me with
names or
these
nothing.
screams, bro.
Scream is gonna be like
been
Fast and the Furious watching.
like that's the goal now. That's like the goal with these
How
franchises
many
now.
times y'all gonna put a scream out? God dang, that thing never died with whoever. Can y'all burn the goddamn outfit or something? Burn the mask.
Yeah,
Even the original Sydney was like, you know what, I'm good. I can't do this one.
Yeah. Like I'm
like,
dang,
do y'all hate these people that much? You hold them a grudge that much? You know, you can take that negative energy and put it towards something healthy. I'm just like, man.
You know what's crazy? I didn't know that they made a Scream 4. And it's weird because I'm like, they got a Scream 5. I'm like, okay.
I know. I'm like,
Scream
what?
5. I'm like, but wait a minute, where's 4? I thought they just skipped 4 and went straight to 5. But no, they
okay, so wait. What was the last one that you guys seen?
Scream 5.
I seen 5.
Okay, so which one is the one where the brother comes out?
City's brother? That's 3.
That's 3.
That's 3. Yeah, that's That's why I'm at with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I need to watch 4 or 5.
So you gotta watch 4 or 5 and
get ready for 7.
6. And get right for 7.
Yeah, get ready for 7.
And then 8, 9, 10 come around the corner.
Oh man.
God dang. Am I behind or not? I'm real behind on this one. Shit.
Oh man. Yeah, and also do not forget, for all you fans out there that are fans of You on Netflix, part 2 of season 4 is out right now. I gotta see that one. You, old Joel Goldberg is at it again. Well, it's kind of different on this season, real quick.
I'm gonna give you my take on the first half. It was kind of dull. I don't know why, but it was. Yeah, it was kind of dull. Me and my wife were big fans of You, and we was like, that ain't it.
Yeah, I heard that the second part is way better, from what I've been told. So
okay, well then good.
Yeah, from what I've been told. And also Luther is coming out as well. Idris Elba.
Vandross?
I don't know if y'all follow.
Oh, I'm about to say.
What, Vandross?
No, we was about to get a Luther biopic.
Come on, man. Come on.
Ooh, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no, not that Luther. Not that Luther.
Y'all is crazy.
not that Luther. Luther, Idris Elba's Luther series is coming back out as well. So yeah, not y'all.
Not Vandross.
No, not Vandross.
Okay.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Y'all gonna have these people looking for damn Luther Vandross about him.
Yeah, be like,
Hello,
we ain't seen Luther yet.
I don't see it coming out yet.
If don't have us some fun right now.
Pressure to play that role.
Sorry, Idris Elba. We are not talking about your TV show at this point. We're talking about Luther.
We went to a whole different Luther. Whole different Luther.
Oh, different Luther.
Oh my gosh.
Whole different Luther.
Oh man, but yeah, there's some people out there that are fans of his TV show. And speaking of another TV show that just came out, Unprisoned with Kerry Washington and my brother Delroy. Boy, I don't know why I like saying Delroy Lindo name like that. I just like, but Unprisoned.
telling.
Just go ahead and tell him. I mean, hey man, if I run into him, I'm gonna say Delroy. I'm gonna say Delroy. Gotta say a name like that, brother.
We gonna send him a little clip of that.
You gonna remember that? Remember when he called out that?
He was a good wife or whatever. The good, yeah. He was like, if y'all have not seen that part, if y'all don't know what we're talking about, it's don't worry about it. But yeah, Delroy Lindo, very good actor. But him and Kerry Washington is on this TV series called Unprisoned on Hulu. He's just now got out of prison for over some odd years. Kerry Washington, she's trying to adjust her life with her son and everything. It's pretty good. I dig it. So yeah. And last but not least, there's some show called History of the World for all those who are a fan of can't think of his name, Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks back in the day, he was in it. Everybody who loved Mel Brooks back then, Mel Brooks is back with A History of the World. And if you know who Mel Brooks is, his comedy, not for everybody, but it might touch some people in certain type of ways because it deals with, religion and everything else. So yeah, in a comedic way. So yeah. And of course, like we said, The Last of Us. That show is still out. We're looking forward to finishing that up as well too. So there are your shows. There's your movies, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yeah. Well, all right.
Go ahead. One more time.
Put that on. Yeah, throw back the carpet, everybody.
We need Luther.
I ain't gonna lie. When I saw Luther, I was like, bro, I already had a feeling. Every last one.
Have us a party.
I didn't do it.
You didn't. No, yeah, you're right.
I just been laughing at y'all three.
You know what's crazy? I see that Luther on Netflix. I'm like, Vandross?
Nobody's touched his story. Oh.
Nobody has touched his story, bro. And when they do, I'm gonna be right there front and center. They're gonna have to escort me out that theater. Cause boy, a bad boy.
Luther.
That's
how my mom used to call his name. Luther. Dang, Nanny, you all right over there?
I'm gonna take my mama to the theaters. Don't let them have a biopic, boy. We're gonna show out.
Okay, yeah.
Y'all need to quit this. And y'all know dang well. If they have a biopic for Luther, everybody and their great grandma gonna be up in their mud.
If they have a biopic of the Isley brothers, oh my God, they gonna have to. Yeah, you gonna have to get out of here, sir.
Okay, y'all. This segment went on too long. We need to wrap it up. See what I did there?
Yeah.
Luther. All my Luther fans know what I just.
Y'all see that?
Oh man, y'all, it's a mess. Y'all know y'all always acting up on the Just Acting Up show.
Idris Elba should have named that show Just a Man, not Luther.
Oh man.
They should have known. They should have known.
Just a man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a spotlight interview coming up. You do not want to miss this. Jalene Mack. So stop by, pay his visit. Stay locked in. Just Acting Up Show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest in the building. This queen right here. Multiple titles. Jalene Mack is in the building. Let's give a round of applause now. There we go. Man, well, you know what? Before we start this off, Happy National Women's Month.
Oh, thank you. Right to shape. Women's Month.
Yes.
Yes. Like we said, hey, we can't do nothing without y'all.
Yes, and we appreciate the praise.
That's right.
I deserve it.
Got to. So let's go ahead and say it. So Jalene Mack, actress, TV and film producer, playwright, author. You keep counting, so make sure I get all of them. Founder, lawyer, philanthropist, entertainment lawyer, storyteller, all around superwoman. Oh my God, Jalene, come on.
Let's give her another round of applause, baby. That's a lot.
Screenwriter.
Yep. All of it. I walk the walk and talk the talk.
Yes, man. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's amazing.
It is. That's a big feat.
I
was gonna just start it off like, hey, how did you get into your profession and how did you start your career off?
Yeah, so I've been in the arts since I was a kid. You know, my mom and my godmother took me to community theater, and I remember seeing this show called Faces, and the theme song. You remember the song from like the 60s, 70s, Smiling Faces, Smile. This is my generation, maybe not yours. But anyway, I was just amazed at seeing Black people in costumes on stage, live, entertaining folks, people in the audience laughing and all that stuff. That just kind of caught my attention, right? And then later, my mom, although of course my dad was very much in my life, my mom raised me, they were separated, and my mom raised me as a single child. So of course she has to find all kinds of events and activities to put me in. So she put me in everything. And I remember signing up in school for the speech contest, second grade, and won first place. And it just kept going. I was in dancing school. I was in the Brownies. I marched in parades. I grew up in New Orleans, so I was a majorette. I used to march in the parades. Just a busybody, you know, the only kid, a busybody. I was the only kid until my sister came along for 16 years later. So, but I do remember watching Facts of Life as a kid, and Kim Fields. Oh my gosh, she just reminded me of me. Little Black girl, pigtails, went to private school, wore a uniform, you know, all that good stuff. And she was on national television on a TV show, and she was making people laugh. Once again, you know, there was just something about the excitement of you know, just working in that acting environment. And it just kind of stuck with me, and I stayed with it. And as I went to high school, I was in a drama club, and trust me, I signed up for every school play there was. And I did not want to be the little Christmas tree in the back. I wanted a lead role, right? Wanted to be seen and heard. And I just kept on doing it. All the talent shows, college, high school, you name it. And the acting bug just stuck with me. Started taking acting classes along the way. And the very first gig I had was DJ Quick, Just Like Compton music video. And y'all remember DJ Quick?
I think I know DJ Quick. I'm trying to remember the music video.
Just Like Compton. Yeah, we got a whole bunch of songs. But anyway, so I was in that music video. I was in DMX Party Up. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in here. Huh?
What? No, I'm like, wait, what? Using D? Okay, I'm sorry. Keep going. It just the song, the videos you were part of. It just
IP to X.
They shot that music video in Houston. I'm sorry, in Texas, in Galveston. He was here for a show. And while he was here, the song was out, but they hadn't done the video yet. So they rented out this bank in Galveston, and we shot all day into the night. And matter of fact, there's a yellow shirt, kind of a gold shirt or something that he wore in the video. And he said he was going to give it to me. But by the time it was time for me to leave, they had to go outside and do the night shoot, so he still needs the shirt. And I was like, damn, I'm not gonna get this shirt. So I just knew I was gonna bring it to him years later and remind him, hey, remember I was in your video, you're supposed to give me that shirt? Never saw him again, and of course now he's passed, but that's my little favorite DMX story. But yeah, I was in Ghetto Boys, 6 Feet Deep, Scarface, Now I Feel You. I was in a lot of music videos, salsa videos, you name it. So I got to do that a little early on before really even getting into the acting. You know, I shouldn't say getting into acting, but getting into feature films and things. So yeah, I got real grassroots in this game, as they say, and started from the bottom, and now I'm here. So how about that?
Yeah,
Hey,
that's amazing.
Love it. So And so, and now when you went to college, that's when you became a lawyer. That's when you became an attorney.
So I was in college and I really wanted to be an actor. I still want to be an actor. My mom lived out in LA,
Yeah.
and I was getting close to graduation, and I was a political science major, mass communications minor, and I knew that I couldn't be a starving actor, right? I needed a degree, but also it was that fork in the road. Do I go to graduate school? Do I move out to LA? Do I maybe go to law school because I need to understand contracts? There were so many people getting messed over back then. So like TLC, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Tony Braxton, they were all having problems like with their management or whatever, accounting, not understanding, what am I doing? All that stuff was happening. So I wanted to understand small print. So I was saying, well, maybe I go ahead and go to law school, and not that I really wanted to be a lawyer, but practicing law was going to be my waitressing job while I pursued acting. And I just kept going. I passed the bar the first time. I started practicing, and eventually I started an entertainment practice at the firm where I worked. And that kind of led to me just doing entertainment law eventually. I started out in music law, and eventually movies, but I was also acting along the way. People in law school, they would go and do summer internships at, for judges and stuff. And I was doing music videos, trying to audition. I remember auditioning for like a LL Cool J music video at one point in LA, just stuff. I was trying to get in where I fit in on the acting side. And because really Houston had done some stuff in the 80s, but didn't really, hadn't anything big occurred in the 90s, I don't think. So, you just had to kind of make it happen where you could.
Wow. You work with a bunch of goats. Scarface, DMX, LL Cool J, man, that's nice. When you're not busy working on set, what do you like to do on your spare time?
Well, everybody knows I have a nonprofit for performing arts, Mack Performing Arts Collective, Impact for short. And it's my way of kind of reaching the masses and giving back. I realized I had so many relationships with people in LA and, actors, comedians, executives behind the scenes. And then me as an entertainment lawyer, I could see close up and personal the common problems that people had, things like understanding their contracts, the importance of copyrights, things like that. And so I said, well, let me start this nonprofit. That way, maybe I can do some workshops and panel discussions and just do what I can through some grants to offer these services, like pretty much for free, where I could. And so that's part of what Impact does. It provides those tools and resources for people to be successful in the business, that are aspiring to be in the business, whatever it is, starting out with like the high school students. So of course that's near and dear to me, Impact. If I'm like totally not doing anything, nothing relating to the entertainment industry, I love boutique shopping and I love vintage shopping. So all my friends know I do not like spending full price for anything. So I'm always looking for a deal. So I totally enjoy that. But I mean, obviously, my friends, I love still going to the movies. I love the movie experience, seeing things on the big screen. I would rather actually go to a movie than to just sit at home and watch if I could. But yeah, I'm from New Orleans, so I'm very, very, very down to earth. I love a good time. I mean, I love festivals. They don't have to be film festivals. They can be like jazz fest and stuff. I'm just I'm Jenny from the block.
Gosh, you made me laugh right there when you said you be shopping. I'll start thinking about what's my Dave Chappelle. Women be shopping, boy. Women be shopping, boy.
Women be shopping.
We do love a deal.
Man, but yeah, Jalene is always fly, man. Every time I see her, I'm like, man, all right, Jalene, go ahead.
Yeah, something. I'll try to represent, My daughter once told me I had too many shoes. I was like, oh, that's blasphemy. What woman says that?
Man, it's never too many shoes.
No, right? Stop. Too many shoes. But yeah.
I have this bag that says, there's never enough makeup.
You say that again?
I have a bag that says there's never enough makeup.
Never enough. Never enough.
Oh my goodness. So let's talk about this. So, your first time on set, on stage, in the courtroom, et cetera, et cetera. How have you grown from then to who you are now? Give us your own thoughts, how much you've grown over years.
Yeah. Well, they say all lawyers are actors, right? You can kind of see it in a courtroom. We have to have the confidence that we need to speak to a crowd and to engage you in our storytelling. If we're speaking to a jury and it's a jury trial or whatever. And I certainly had that kind of experience. I used to do litigation. There was a time that I did a lot of things other than entertainment law. So I was a family lawyer. I did divorces, child support, child custody, visitation, name changes, parent adoptions, all the things that happen in family court. And I also did landlord-tenant. I handled administrative, environmental matters, all kinds of stuff. I worked for a small firm, so they just kind of throw you in and say, start swimming. And I did criminal trial work. I've done a lot of stuff over the years. But I finally stopped doing all the extra. I used to do PI, just a general practice. And I probably stopped doing really anything that's not related to entertainment and small business. I feel like maybe 7 to 10 years ago. So I have a lot of practical experience moving around, right, in the courtroom. I'm a mother. I'm a wife. So I have life experience. I'm 55, so I have plenty of life experience. So you take all of that, and then you can move it into an acting role, right? You can move it on set for whatever character you're playing, whatever piece you're a part of, whatever ensemble cast you're a part of. I'm used to working with teams. I'm used to working silo. So I'm very adaptable. So I wouldn't say it was hard for me. I think it was hard for other people to accept who I was that didn't know who I was already. Some people met me, people know you where they meet you, right? So some people met me as a lawyer, not knowing I was an actor before I was a lawyer. So then you have those people go, oh, you're doing that acting stuff? You wasting your law career? No, not really. Because I was already an actor. So you might want to say I'm wasting my acting career, right? But the best example that I can explain why it all works for me. One, there's a play that I co-wrote with my deceased writing partner now, Gary. But the play was called The Great Divide. 7 sold-out shows, wonderful performance. Well, I turned around and I took that play that I wrote as a playwright. Well, I acted in it as an actor, right? I was one of the producers on it. And I turned around and I negotiated the movie rights. So I put my lawyer hat on, negotiate the movie rights, and now it's a movie that you can go, see on whatever. And I know it's on YouTube, the full thing called The Great Divide. But I'm also a producer on it and a writer on it. And so I put all the hats on and made money from all the hats. So I you know how it is in this business. All you guys can relate to this. We have to wear multiple hats. Not everybody that's outside the entertainment industry understands that, right? And you'll get more naysayers than you get believers until you're a big name. And then you also have people in your own circle and in your own community that don't get that you are somebody, right? In your own right, or you are doing amazing things in your own right. They don't get that until you get validated by somebody who lives 3 states over, right? So you get that too. So sometimes not everybody understands certainly the mission or understand what you're doing and the purpose. And I've learned that a long time ago. Now it doesn't matter because everybody just gets it because I do so much more now. But early on, the transitions to doing all the things that I did in life they were easy for me, just hard to swallow for other people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Completely understand.
Yeah.
I love it.
Everybody's not going to see the vision. Yeah. Everybody's not going to see the vision that you have and the vision that you dream about and what's been placed on you. So it's like sometimes it's a lost cause trying to help everyone understand. It's like, just sit back and watch me work.
Right.
When you see the finished product, give me the praise.
Just show up. Yeah. I think that it's to this day, some people are still disconnected. I can't even bother to explain to them anymore. But anyway, you guys get it.
I always like to ask this question. As far as, Houston has a really deep talent pool, a lot of great projects are coming out of this area now. I mean, what's the biggest difference you've seen from how things were, years ago to now, and where do you see the future of the Houston entertainment community going?
My very first film that I worked on here in Houston was, I think, in 1993. My very first film client was Greg Carter, and he had a film called Fifth Ward, which is not a TV series, but Fifth Ward, the movie, I want to say we did that in 95, somewhere around there. And we shot that film. I was an associate producer on there and a lawyer. We shot that film on 16 millimeter, not 35 millimeter, not digital, HD, which you have today, like literally where you used to have to get film developed and stuff, and it was more grainy and all that. So I've seen technology change considerably. I started the music career when there were chain franchise music stores. So I was through the transition of when we went from cassettes to CDs and from CDs to digital and record stores closing down. So I've certainly seen the transitions and the trends nationally as well as here locally. We used to have Southwest Wholesale was the big place to go take your music and get it distributed. So I've definitely seen a lot of changes. But what I've also seen, of course, actors having to audition in the casting director's office or in their agent's office. We don't have to do that anymore. Everything's by video. So there's a lot of pluses to where we are. And with all those changes and the internet, FedEx, a flight, cell phones, video calls, all these things have taken Hollywood out of LA and placed it across the country, right? So now Hollywood is not just in LA. It's not just the New York. It's entertainment industry. It's in Louisiana. It's in New Mexico. It's in Michigan. It's in Atlanta, right? It's in Georgia. So it's everywhere now, which is great. In addition to that, obviously there's tax incentives in other states that we don't necessarily have here. But the beauty of shooting here in Texas and what I've seen in Texas is, because there's more streamers and more distributors and more need for content. Now we at home here in Texas, we were struggling as filmmakers to have to leave to go shoot our project somewhere else. We were struggling as actors to leave to go act somewhere else. We can stay here and we can shoot our own projects here. Some are clearly going to be better than others just because the resources might be limited on some productions. But I think everybody should just, shoot their shot, as they say, right? But shoot it when it comes to making movies and television shows instead of writing a script and sitting and collecting dust, instead of twiddling your thumbs, waiting on the phone to ring for somebody off your own. Write your own production, produce your own production, join somebody's team just to get the experience, invest in somebody else's production just to walk through the experience so the next time you do yours, you know how to do X, Y, and Z. So all those things are very doable now. I think what hasn't grown with technology and with the advancement of the industry in Houston is sometimes the maturity level of the filmmaker. And I don't mean maturity level like they're a kid, but maturity level in business decisions, in respecting the craft, in respecting women on set. I don't think that's necessarily evolved with everybody. There are some filmmakers that do have a reputation of the casting couch mentality that still exists. There are the filmmakers that still criticize somebody else's work, like, oh, they doing all those, thug movies or just whatever, right? And to each his own. There's a market for everybody, and I think so. I think that, but I don't think because we don't have a huge entertainment industry that we necessarily have to all join in unity to work on the same project and promote each other in unison as a team. We don't have to do that either. It's okay to do our own thing in our pockets and our circles because that's what a team is for, right? You know, Macy's is not calling up dealers say, hey, y'all want to get together and sell shoes, you know? So it's okay that there's more than one shoe store. There's more, you know, all that stuff. So I thought there was a time early on in the 90s that a Unity project could have worked, but that was because the resources were so limited. But now you don't have to wait on somebody else, and you can do your own thing. I do think it would be nice if we had more of a centralized community, like a town, by example, we have Alameda, right? And there's all these bars and restaurants. And so we know that's where you go for a good time, right? It would be nice if we had a strip of everything entertainment related, not everything, but like a central place, right? That kind of draws us in. That would be cool. So like studios, or a studio that has a bunch of, you know, film entertainment stuff around it. I mean, that would be great. I think the Film Commission does its share of trying to keep us all connected. But anyway, yeah. So I've seen changes, and then I see what we can improve to.
Yeah, I love that you. Yeah, I love that you said that too, because I went to the Film Commission meeting this past last week on Tuesday, and they really were touching on the things that you was talking about. Like, we do need that more here in Houston, and they would love for these major TV shows that we see to film here, because we have the talent, and you said it perfectly.
It's not us, it's not the city, it's not the talent, it's the state government, because they have to create a statewide incentive that is attractive to bring the big studios here. And I know there's some disadvantages that we have, which we don't have state tax, which, you know, as living here, we love that. But it'd be nice if we did have some other pool of resources for the state to pull from. So, you know, much like Louisiana. And I mean, truth be told, Republicans are in office. You know, it is political too, because there's no interest from a Abbott and Republicans to build the entertainment industry, right? Even when Rick Perry was in office, he did away with the there was like a regulations of like talent agencies and stuff like that. Like, he started peeling things away even back then, like, no interest for this, no need for this or whatever. So if they don't see the film business as another commodity, as another way of, you know, economic growth, of creating jobs, like in California and all these other places, then it's hard to convince anybody else, because, you know, things trickle down, right, from the state.
Right.
And the mayor does what he can. You know, the closest we have is HAA, Houston Arts Alliance, you know, and other grants that we might be able to get. But that's for small artists. That's for a festival. That's for small time things. That's not like multi-millions of dollars to bring a whole studio lot in. So that's the big problem. But we have a lot of experts and dedicated people fighting the good fight for us. And I've been in this industry a very long time, and I'm doing what I can on my level within my resources to add to that, but more so to sustain what we have, right? To not discourage what we have already, because you can easily get frustrated and be like, you know what, I'm just moving. But you know, the more we can kind of create and keep our synergy going with who and what we have here, the better. I think COVID helped us. A lot of people in the entertainment industry moved back here, right? A lot of athletes live here in the off season. They, you know, like you said, we have the people here. It's just more infrastructure needed.
I have a question. Like, from what you were talking about, does it seem like, or what's the difference between what's going on here in Austin? It seems like a lot of times I hear a lot of people saying that the arts period is booming in Austin, but we're trying to get on the same kind of circle, the same kind of turnaround with what they're having going on. So what is the big difference between what's going on there and here?
Right. So first of all, Austin is the capital. There's a whole different kind of energy there with that type, with politicians and business people and headquarters of big companies in Austin, right? And then Austin also, their entertainment industry, in my opinion, boomed from the music business that existed in Austin. of course, they have the major festival like South by Southwest. It gets national attention. I mean, they talk about South by Southwest on Jimmy Fallon. You know, and they get the national artists. They get the emerging artists that we end up hearing about later, right? They get a big record deal, or they YouTube sensation or whatever. So there's a lot of synergy there anyway. Austin is also like a little LA in many aspects for people, you know, who right, you know, from the green living to they call Austin Ranch Valley, like there's Silicon Valley in California, because there's a lot of computer business there, right? So there's a lot of and you know, and it's a small big city, it's a small country city, it's kind of that combination. It's just, you know, lush lands, you know, the hillside, mountains, you name it. There's a lot of attractions there, right? Yeah. And if you kind of come to Texas and you want to feel a little bit like California, but you want to have a foot in the entertainment industry and feel like you're more in an industry town, I think Austin's a place to be. And of course, we can't leave out UT, you know, big football town. It's just a lot of things that attract. 6th Street is like Bourbon Street, you know, so there's so many things there that attract people to stay and want to live and settle down, because it gives them the vibe they need without the cost that they may have left back in California, for instance.
And I see it booming because last year, me and my wife, we celebrated our anniversary in Austin, in the hillside country part.
Right.
And they told me, a lot of people have told me that that's going to be like the new Calabasas, but of course I didn't see it.
Yeah.
When you get there and when you see it, it's like, yeah, this is going to be in the next 10, 15 years. That's going to be the new California. Yeah, it's a lot of things that's moving into that area. Is building is momentum to be something big in Austin. Yeah.
No, I mean, other than Trump believers and, you know, and I'm just going to say it, you know, Republican politics. Yeah. Texas is a wonderful state to be in. I love Texas. I lived in Louisiana and New Orleans. That's where I grew up. And I've moved around, and the only other place that I considered, if I didn't go to Xavier for undergrad, I would have gone to Howard as an option. And then DC is the only other place I really ever wanted to live. It's just so expensive, but it speaks to my core too, you know, outside of the entertainment industry. But Texas, to me, is like you get the best of all worlds here. Yeah. You know, and as far as weather, what they say, just wait a minute, it'll change.
Yeah. When I figured out, when I found out that 50 Cent moved out here, I was like, okay, right. I think that was the moment where it kind of dinged on me that, like, okay, so it is true, like a lot of people are moving here.
And he really did move here, like he really has a place here. Not to say he gave up anything else, but he actually has his place here, and he's doing things here, and he's doing things with the mayor. And I haven't had the pleasure of running into him yet. I feel like that's going to come up at some point, you know, because people in the entertainment industry, at some point, we're in the same circle. But yeah, that's why I said during COVID was actually pretty good for us. We had a lot of people from California and New York move here, and people were in the industry. And I met this one girl, I won't even say her name, she'll figure out what I'm talking about. But I met a lady who had moved here from California some months back. And somebody was trying to tell her that I was in the entertainment industry, and we were just kind of trying to summarize it up, kind of like you do with the intro, like, oh my gosh, she does this, that, and the other. And she was like, oh, okay, that's cute. You're acting here? Oh, okay. And so it was kind of condescending, right? And so I said, where'd you move from? She said, oh, I'm from LA, you know, and I moved back and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so she had asked me some questions like, oh, that's cute, my answers, right? And she said she was a producer and she had done some other things. And I'm like, oh, okay. But she downplayed me so much, and I produced too. And just because I live in Houston doesn't mean I don't work on things, you know, that affects us nationwide or whatever. Right. And I've produced in California and blah, blah, blah. And so when I started asking her more questions, she didn't go as deep as I thought she did, you know. So it was like, oh, no, well, I'm a producer, but I just got over here and I haven't done such, but I'm trying to do such, you know, it was those kind of answers. And I'm like, well, I did this. Now, I'm not a person to put out my credentials, but when you make me feel like this,
You're right. Like, little did you
You have
know.
to.
When
got
You have to.
when you look at me like this, I gotta make you realize you looking through the peephole. You gotta step back.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And with the big picture, I was like, wait a minute, you're not gonna make me feel like silly. So after that, we became buddies. And but she just represents people who think people outside of Texas of what they think about folks trying to do entertainment in Texas. You know what I mean? Like if your zip code is 713-281-832, what are you doing? You don't have 818?
Yeah.
You have
Why are you here? Yeah.
323? So anyway, that was my little experience, kind of recent, and
It's
not
crazy
you
though.
if you listen to this interview, but you know what we went through.
You know, we good now, but you know.
Do you have artists that are kind of with contracts that are like trying to come out, or you like to work with people that are a little bit more established?
So I'm a lawyer. When it comes to all of my entertainment professions, my trade is I'm a lawyer, right? That's how I make my bread and butter mainly. So my clients are my clients. I meet them where they are in their careers, and I don't necessarily take everybody, only because some people aren't ripe yet. You know, they really don't need a lawyer yet. They're just kind of lining it up. There are people that I'm a philanthropist. You know, that's why I have impact. So I've always discounted my fees because I know how hard it is to get a project off the ground. I try to do flat fees as opposed to hourly fees because it'll eat up your budget. And I try to steer you in a direction to do something yourself if I can, where if I know you don't really need a lawyer for that, this is all you need to do, right? Or I try to give you the information, you know, I try to answer a question or kind of get it done for you if it doesn't take too much away from what I'm doing. It doesn't cost me a lot of time. So I try to do as much as I can with whoever it is. You know, some people are way more established and are off to the races, and other people are trying to figure it out. And I just try to help who I can. And if I can't help them, I might have another attorney to refer them to or something like that. But everybody needs a lawyer from the very beginning. But I do think you need to understand the business from the very beginning, or understand the business that you're in better, right? Because even as a lawyer, like, people come to me and they want me to look at their contract. But if you don't understand what you're doing and the business of what you're doing, I can explain it to you, but you may not get it if you don't put something into it yourself, right? And I would prefer somebody to read the agreement before they come to me and be generally familiar, so they can, you know, whatever they don't understand, I can explain to them. But even when people come to me and say, "Oh, I just don't understand this one provision," this happened to me a couple of weeks ago. Somebody emailed me, and it was for an investment opportunity that they had, and they said, "Hey, can you just read these 10 pages?" Well, the contract itself was like 21 pages. So I'm not being a good lawyer to you if I only read that isolated section, because I don't know that I'm giving you the best advice, given the fact that there's so much, you know, other language in here that might not be to your favor or might affect the 10 pages that I'm reading. So, yeah. So, but anyways, I think it's important to have a baseline understanding of the business. That way you're not relying on everybody else, right? Because I can give you the best advice I can give you based on your circumstances. But at the end of the day, that's your name on the contract, right? It's your deal. So I want you to feel good about it with having some understanding, some understanding of your craft. I know a lot of people are like, I just want to be a talent. I just want to be talent.
That's a good question, because I always ask myself, because when you see it unfold, like an artist, whatever, they in good with their record label, then give it like the next 6 years, they want out of their deal. Why is that? Like, I guess they just get into something that they don't know, or they, you know, because I hear so many different stories about advance.
Yeah.
That's the same thing with actors too. Actors get into their deals and they want out with the studio.
Yeah, so with record deals, oftentimes it's either not explained clearly or is not understood clearly, right? And whoever's explaining to you, you got to take that with a grain of salt, because is it the label explaining it to you?
Right,
You know,
right.
or is it your manager, you know, or your business partner, or somebody who cares dearly, has your best interest, right? But oftentimes, even with somebody having your best interest, if they're not a lawyer, they may not understand exactly what that language means. And by example, you may sign a let's say it's a 3-record deal, right?
Mhm.
And in your head, you're thinking, oh, it's just going to be 3 years. Maybe in your head, you're thinking a 3-record deal is 3 years,
Mhm.
right? When in actuality, it's 3 records. So your contract will begin when you sign, but then you have to go in the studio and record. You got your producers, you got all the stuff you got to do, right, to even get the album done, approved, song selected, blah, blah, blah. That might be 12 months into the first year. It's right? So then you got to release it, and the language might say, you know, that that basically, you know, the first I guess like term or recording period, it might end like, that's not recording period, but like before the next album is due. It might end like 12 months after release or something. So maybe you're 2.5 years after you signed, right? And you haven't gotten to the second album yet. So it could be circumstances, events, dates, things that trigger how long you're actually in that agreement. So you might sign an agreement thinking, oh, this is going to take 2-3 years, and you end up in it like 6-7 years later, and you still got one more album you got to deliver. You ain't even start that one yet. So it just kind of depends, obviously, how it's written. I know labels were doing these 360 deals. I don't know that many people are still doing that now, because oftentimes you're getting just singles now that are getting pushed. And that's another thing, though, the beauty of being an independent record recording artist. I mean, you can put your music on, you know, SoundCloud and trying to say Apple and, you know, all the streaming platforms now. You can do it yourself. And
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
yeah, and YouTube. And you can still get discovered on YouTube.
Yeah.
You do a music video, you know, and monetize it while you're waiting to be discovered. You know?
Right.
So Instagram, all that stuff. So it's just so many ways to get out there now and collaborate. And I will say social media obviously is a game changer, because a lot of people do look at their DMs. You know, you'd be surprised. I booked Face on Love as a comedian. I used to produce these comedy workshops for Impact, and I did 8 of them. And I didn't know Faison before he came, but I just sent him a DM in his messages. And not only did he come, he wouldn't let us pay for him. He wouldn't let us pay for dinner for him. He wouldn't let me fly him in. He paid for all this stuff. He just wanted to come in. I took him to Provision High School. We talked to the kids. He did my comedy workshop. He just refused to let us spend money. He knew we were a nonprofit and we were, you know, giving back. And so, but I'm like, good thing I asked, you know,
Yeah.
and of course, friends. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm, you know, trying to put out a few songs this year, and I'm definitely not signed to anybody or tied down into anything. And I'm just I'm so careful with everything, because I don't want to do anything that I regret. So I'm careful with who I work with and how I do it.
Yeah, well, watch the paperwork and do your paperwork. You know, it's always, you know, it's always a tough position when you're with the label and the label's also managing you. You know, there's an inherent conflict of interest there. And then obviously, you know, sometimes you go in the studio and somebody's, you know, recording and you help them, you know, rewrite their verse or whatever, and you expect a writing credit, you know, a writing share, and it was like, nah, I did this 100, you know, this all me.
Yeah, I heard that stories too about not getting any writing credits.
Yeah, it happens all the time. You got to do those split sheets, you know. You got anybody else on here, music artists?
No,
I know I'm going through something right now, because for some reason everybody have a different understanding of the word exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody have a different understanding of the word exclusive. And I think that's one of my main problems that I'm running into, because like I said, I'm doing everything independent. So I like to pay for my beats up front. I like to, if I get somebody to write on my stuff, I like to pay them up front. And I expect for everything to be exclusive. And when it comes down to the ending of everything, it's like we got into this one point where the first time I got someone to write for me, and she was definitely under the impression that I like everything to be exclusive. So it's more like I hire, like I hired her. Right. And she's like, no, I want my credits, I want my this, I want my that. And I'm like, that's not what we signed up for. This is supposed to be exclusive. So, I'm trying to understand. She's like, well, if I wrote for you, I have to be added onto the paperwork as the writer. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm trying to understand everything from everybody's point of view.
Yeah. It's important to have these conversations up front. It really is. The creative conversations, the business conversations, just to have some clarity. And of course, I have clients that go in the studio all day and record, and they got music coming out and the paperwork's not finished yet. And it's not a big deal if there was a clear understanding, and now we're just making sure everybody sign off on the paperwork. But when you're introducing an idea of claiming ownership or expecting to get paid, and you bring it up after the fact, and you bring it up after the budget is exhausted, right? The budget is spent. Everybody else has gotten their credit, and now you're trying to squeeze credit that's already been allocated. So where's that credit coming from at this point? Because you're kind of late asking for it, and nobody wants to back up and give up their credit, and blah blah. You get all that stuff happening afterwards, and it just leaves a salty taste in everybody's mouth, obviously. So yeah, it's just one of those things. Clearly, have a conversation up front. And if you can get all your contracts out the way up front, that's fine too. Sometimes the contracts come later because you don't even know if you really want to still work together. You might have an idea to work together, collaborate, but until you go in that studio, right, and figure out who's doing what, then you really don't know what your deal is sometimes till after the fact, especially with the writing stuff. Because that's just a whole song that you wrote up front, and you expect 100%. Your writer's share, but you just never know. If somebody's buying a song from you, they might do some revisions on it or whatever, and now they want a writer's share and a writer, some of the publishing and a writer's credit as well. So definitely have those conversations up front.
Yeah, because that's definitely what happened throughout the whole writing process. Like I feel like we co-wrote it, because I was sending verses and things to her to put in, and we kind of collaborated and put the song together. So I was like, so just kind of work. Just trying to do this year, because I started out in a band and we didn't have all of these problems. It was, you get contracted to work, the whole band gets, their share of whatever was made, and everybody goes their own way. But when it comes to going into the studio, it's just so many different parts and pieces that have to be done to get one body of work done. And it's like you want to be known as being fair to everyone, because you don't want to be unfair, but you also don't want to be manipulated either. So you have to know more about it to know what moves to make. And that's where I'm to the point where I'm trying to educate myself more about the business, so that I can know what's supposed to be done.
There's a book that I would suggest, and I know we can go on to another topic, but there's a book that I suggest I used to read, and I tell everybody, it's called All I Need to Know About the Music Business by Donald Passman. When I don't know, it may have been his first or second edition when I got it, so I'm sure it's like 20th edition, because he was always updating it, but that's a good book to read. All I Need to Know About the Music Business by Donald Passman, and it's really basic. At this point, you can get so much stuff online, but that's kind of a one-stop shop Bible, if you would, of the music industry, especially as an independent artist. I would suggest that.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
When it's all said and done, right? What do you hope to have accomplished at the end of your career in acting and in law?
Well, acting wise, I've lost the spunk of. I shouldn't say spunk. That's not it. I haven't lost the fire either, but I've retired that, oh, I got to audition, right? For everything that comes my way, or, oh, I got to audition, looking for an audition. I'm past that. I got over that process of auditioning for a role against everybody else. And half the time you're auditioning for the role, you're probably not going to get it anyway. Or you audition for the role and they've really given it away already. I've seen that happen time and time again. And the running up and down the highway, to auditions that could have been a video submission, all that stuff. So I'm past that, but I was able to get past that because I started producing myself anyway. And I worked so much on projects as a lawyer and in different circles and know about so much that oftentimes, they just ask me, hey, Jay, will you take this part? I get offered a role just because I've done so much at this point, which is great. So that whole chasing down audition, I'm over that part. But as an actor, I've never worked with Will Smith, would love to work with Will Smith. He's one of my favorite all-time actors. And I tell everybody I was mad at him just a little bit behind the slap because I like to respond too, but I'm over him. Matter of fact, I'm going to show y'all something real quick. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
And exclusive.
Exclusive. See how you said, Tashay, you said exclusive, and here come exclusive. Look at that. Now,
I am legend.
I'm sitting down, but this is, do y'all remember Blockbusters?
Yeah.
So this is from the display when the movie came out, and it was him watching the dog, but I had to go ahead and throw the dog away after a while. But I'm a big Will Smith fan, so a lot of people, everybody knows, they were trying to get Will to call me or something for I think it was my 50th birthday, but I'm a big Will Smith fan. So I heard I'm shooting a movie I'm producing a movie in Atlanta, and I heard they're shooting Bad Boys there when we're shooting, so I'm hoping I get to meet him. But
we're hoping you get to meet him too.
What was that?
I said we're hoping you get to meet him too.
Yes. So I want to work with Will Smith. Love to meet him. And as far as settling down and retiring, there's a few things I plan on doing. I have a couple of movies, micro budget movies that I'm going to shoot that are under my own banner, more near and dear to me, because I'm always a producer on somebody else's project, but I have some of my own stuff that I want to do. So I have those things coming up. I'd love to write more books. I don't know if you guys know, I do have one book out.
Yeah.
One book.
Oh, yes. Bring it closer to the screen so that people can see it.
Yeah, it's
closer to the top.
The Business of Stage Screen in Between. So this is a business book that I wrote back in 2017. It's on Amazon's Kindle. It's been around for a while. It has some ebooks coming out. But I would love to write more novels, actually. And I have a number of scripts that I've been writing on. But if I had more leisure, it'd be like, let me fly off to Belize or, go down to Miami. I love Miami. And just write if I could. There's a few books that I started that I want to finish. So I actually want to do more writing for certain. And I do like speaking engagements, and I'm trying to get impact to the point where it doesn't have to be Jalene always, in front and lead for impact. But so many people associate me with impact, but that's okay too. So, but I want impact to live a long time and be my legacy. But yeah, those are kind of things that I want to do, kind of on the other side of practicing and all the many things that I do. There's some more plays. I have a one-woman show that I wrote. I haven't had time to plan out and do it. I need to just set a date, and then that'll probably force me. But just so many things get in the way. You know how it is, y'all. We wear all these hats, So, but yeah. I used to say I'll stop practicing law, but you know how it is. If your mind works, your mind works, right? So even the doctor who says, I'm going to retire, you best believe if you fail in front of him, he's going to get down and assess you. So,
Right.
so
please, doctor.
So I don't go to court anymore. I'm more transactional now, so which is good. So I do. I really should call myself the contract lawyer because that's all I do: contracts, contracts, contracts. But yeah, so I don't know that I'll stop practicing law ever. But people do ask me, "Hey, so you still practice law?" Yeah, I need a law for this degree. Never ever stop. Let it be known. I tell people I practice law every day. So, and the beauty of having a license in anything, whether you're a real estate broker, CPA, whatever, you can practice out the trunk of your car. You know, the license attaches to you. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for the education and everything, Jalene.
Yeah.
Last thing before you go. Well, two more things, but one last thing. Last question. Any advice that anyone has shared with you that you still live by today?
Absolutely. And I don't know if someone shared with me, but I read it somewhere. And it's like a old African proverb. And it says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to travel far, go with a group. And what I learned from that is obviously if you want to sustain in life and you want to do big things and you want to be in this business for a while, make sure you have a good team and you know, or tribe, you know, your circle. And that can be a mixture of professional people, you know, and your friends, but definitely don't do it alone. Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
I like that.
Not doing it alone here.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Y'all, this was not an interview. This was just a kickback. I enjoyed myself talking to y'all, you know.
That's how
Both
Really,
of these
We
moms
enjoy
are-
you too.
Thank you. I feel like we're all in the same room, you know, and just sit back, just having a conversation. So this was really good. I appreciate it.
Thank you. No,
Thank
you deserve to sit back and relax. You've been moving, going everywhere. So yeah. So yeah. Thank you.
More to come. Look, I'll see you somewhere else.
We're gonna run into each other. Trust me.
Yeah.
Hopefully so, yes. We're gonna speak it.
Yeah.
Ooh, here we go. Mike's favorite segment, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Act the fool, man. Chris, you ready?
That is a lie.
Here we go.
That is a lie.
We're going through the same thing. Okay. Yes. We headed to Oklahoma, Tulsa, that is. Oklahoma police said a man was arrested after he paid for a meal. He even tipped the waitress right before he robbed the Waffle House.
Oh, hell no.
So he paid for his meal, ate good, tipped the waitress, then robbed the place. I mean, the police department said they made a post saying that they responded to a call for armed robbery just before noon on Thursday. On the way to the restaurant, they saw what appeared to be the suspect running southbound along the highway, later identified as Victor Don Juan Medina. Authorities took Medina into custody and recovered the gun he was carrying. During the investigation, they found that Medina ate at the Waffle House. He paid for his meal, tipped the waitress, and then demanded cash and just ran out the restaurant. So he's charged with robbery with a firearm.
Shout out to my boy Don Juan. Don Juan.
Don Juan
Why do
Medina.
his name have to be
Don Juan.
Don Juan Medina.
You do not trust nobody with the name Don Juan.
Don Juan. Someone please call 911.
The only Don Juan that we know is the one with pimp. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it'd be
And
like
then
that
his last
sometimes.
name gonna have the nerve to be Medina.
Well, yeah, Don Juan Medina.
Don Juan Medina.
That sounds like a villain from Zorro.
I challenge you.
Oh, the nerve of him to go eat, tip, then rob him. He was like, give me my money back.
You know, sometimes stuff happen though. Sometimes you end up in a bad spot. You know, I went to Waffle House this morning. And I forgot my wallet at home. And I told the waiter, I said I couldn't pay for my meal. So she took one of my shoes as payment and told me I wasn't allowed back. So I guess from now on I go to IHOP. Get it? I go to IHOP. Yeah. Because she took one of my shoes. I was like, can't do Waffle House. There's only one shoe. My way down to IHOP.
Look at my face. Mike, you know you want to laugh at that one.
With a name Don Juan.
Welcome back, Krishay. I wasn't getting no laughs last week.
Right, I got you, Chris. I got you.
Look at James. James ain't even playing with you today. That ain't the one.
Okay, if that ain't the one.
James done froze, or James just James made James froze.
Wait, is James froze? Wait,
yeah,
James
froze.
blink once if you hear me.
There you go. There goes
froze.
James.
Just a little bit.
There we go.
No, it was a perfect freeze because it looked like you enjoyed the joke. So
wait, James, I said blink once if you hear me, then you popped back up.
You popped up. That was so
funny.
I
I heard y'all, and everything got See, that's what Chris jokes did right there. It was.
You know what
it did.
He has two. Oh, but wait, he has two more. So go ahead.
I do.
Oh yeah.
What has 4 teeth? What has 4 teeth and 8 legs?
No.
4 teeth and 8 legs.
The night shift at Waffle House. Come on, now. Y'all know that.
They do have some characters up there. I ain't gonna lie.
Think about that.
They do have some characters up there.
Not too much on Waffle House. I love Waffle House.
Yeah, me too.
You're damn right. It was one night I went up there, baby. Oh my God, baby. I you know how they could wear a mask and then it shelters whatever, you know what I'm saying? So you want 2 waffles with that? That waffle wet. That
with an extra
ma'am.
They stacked up, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Back up, please. And don't talk while you fixing my food. Just put your mask on.
They violent.
I know one thing. I know Mr. Don Juan Medina is going to jail, possibly prison. So, and some people think prison is one word, but to robbers, it's a whole sentence. You catch that on your way.
I'm not doing. Okay, wait.
Okay, James. Okay, Chris. Now say that one more time, bro.
No, think about it.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. Say that one more time.
That was a good one.
Hey, say
for
that
the people in the back,
that was a good one.
They didn't hear me. Some people think prison is one word, but to robbers, it's a whole sentence.
Bam! Drop the mic.
You catch that?
That's a good one. I like that one. I like that one. That's good.
Yes. But the funny part is, this man sat there and ate his food. Was like, this some good ass waffles. This sausage is good. Knowing
that's probably his last $10.
A pay tip and then robbed them. I bet he asked for extra syrup. I bet he asked for extra syrup on his waffle.
Don't go to the Waffle House.
I would have.
Everybody go to IHOP.
That's all right.
And that's not referring to your joke, Chris. I'm just saying, everybody go to IHOP. Okay?
But I wonder what happened, because normally the Waffle House be having some people that, they be willing to fight.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to go to the Waffle House because they be having people ready to fight. I didn't see so many videos of them throwing. It was a dude that just walked in the back and he just fixed his own waffle. Like, y'all doing all that fighting. I'm hungry. He walked in there like it was his kitchen or something.
He been watching them for the longest, make them damn waffles, waiting on his. He said, forget this. They ass want to fight. I'm making my own damn waffle.
I'm not going to lie. I would be probably that guy because I'm hungry. And y'all be doing all that jibber jabber. I'm hungry, man. You know what? Let me just go on back there. I'll just go back there and start fixing it myself.
I know that's right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to get some balancing act. Got to give some flowers to a certain individual. So y'all stay locked in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so this is the balancing act where we, give flowers out to certain individuals. So that's what we're going to do right now. And this one is a very special one to us because come with heavy hearts on this one, because if it wasn't for this certain man, then all of this right here, it wouldn't have been possible. So how can I say, Norman Ray Fitz, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I kind of did tear up when I found out about this information. Cause I'm a big softy sometimes. Come on, man. I can't be gangster all the time. I'm big, hey. So, but it's sad because, this guy here was a real big part of the Houston Film Committee community. And I first met him, quick story, I first met him when a year before I got my acting career started at his screenwriting learning seminar. He had a class, leisure learning. Met him, great guy. He sent me the information to my email about these meetup groups. Fast forward to like a year or so later, after my second play, I was like, what am I going to do now? What I did, saw that notification, meetup group, went to the meetup group. Who I ran into, these two guys right here, Chris and Mike, all because of Norman Ray Fitz, man. And when I went to that party, shook his hand, talked to him for a little bit. He said, I don't remember you, but I do remember you. Because I had that, script writing class. Sweet guy, real sweet guy. And sad to say that he passed away in November of 2022 and nobody knew about it. And also sad to say that his wife passed away, I believe, if not early that year or during the COVID. She passed away some time around that time. And so yeah, man, was a very sweet man, nice guy. His wife, heard nothing but great things about her. He's with her now. Both of them are rested in power. And like I said, if it wasn't for that guy right there, all of this, me, Mike, Chris, and Shay, later on, she came in, we probably would have never met each other. We probably ran into each other, but we wouldn't be the cool collective group that we are now. So
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely created the space for us to be able to meet.
Yeah, he did. I remember I was looking, same thing, James. I'm like, where do I go now? And someone told me about the Meetup app. I think it was Chris that told me the Meetup app. And then put in what you looking for, groups. And that was the first one that popped up, man. And something was like, you need to go to this. And yeah, I remember I called in for work and I went, and that was the best decision that I made. Yeah, that's one of the best decisions that I made. So RIP to him, man, because he organized those mixers well, and it was a safe space for everybody to come in and just, network. That's all it was meant for people to do. So, hey.
Rest in power, King. You've done your job, and you've done your job well. Like you said, provide a platform for all of us. Clap it in, clap it in, clap it in, clap it in. Woo, another great show in the books, man. So, oh man. Shout out to Jalene Mack for coming through, giving us some knowledge, educating. It was educational. And we always love talking to Jalene, man. If y'all see her out there in the streets, hey, tell her we say, hey, man, she's great people. She's real good people, very helpful, as you can see. But thank y'all, Chris, Shay, Mike. Thank y'all, man. Like, I'm having a moment right here, man, because we're doing some awesome, beautiful things. So
I took away from Jalene when she said, you can run alone and fast, but you can really build something with a team. And we got that team. You feel me?
Yeah, we do.
Got that team.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. Yeah, one hell of a team. And team, we're gonna go far, team.
Mm-hmm.
Really. Only when Chris do his jokes, we don't go as far.
All right. See, you had to ruin the moment. Man, such having a nice moment.
It's
be a hit
get up.
Your whole Oh man, y'all got anything before we get up out of here?
Positive quote. Always end the day with a positive thought. No matter how hard things were, tomorrow's a fresh opportunity to make it better.
Yeah.
Boom. Word
I
is
like
bone.
that, Chris.
Like that.
Everybody have a good day, a good evening, good night.
Stay away from car batteries. My bad.
Oh Lord.
Definitely.
Aftershock.
And no stealing out of Waffle House, please, people.
Please.
Yeah, please.
We gotta protect the Waffle Houses.
Protect the Waffle House.
Like we'll get some pause.
Don't y'all bring that shenanigans down to IHOP. We don't put up with that.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Thanks.